Woody.
Okay, and we are back after a short recess. 1:45. We're looking at H103, an act relating to prohibited practices for services involving veterans benefits, and we are repeating our representative bill introduction duet of Representative Page and Woodman from yesterday. I walked in the door. I'm like, didn't we do this already?
Page and Labor.
Page and Labor. I'm sorry.
Page and Woodman are one and the same.
I'm getting my brain's moving too
It's
quickly.
deja vu all over.
That's what I was saying. I was like, this. Yeah. Anyway, gentlemen, please join us. If you want to do a duet, feel free to pull up a chair. Yeah.
Woody's got it all solo, huh?
Well, Chair mentioned the word duet, I don't sing.
I think.
Dan?
Yeah, you're on the corner.
That's one reason why I have Larry as my co-pilot. I wasn't going to hand out this leaflet, and he said you really should hand it out to them. So I think it basically describes why I'm putting forward this bill. There's a great deal of money out there for veterans, particularly those that have major medical issues, particularly with the burn pit concern. And I will also mention that I don't think it applies to the officer corps or the senior enlisted corps, but for first term service members, you want to do your time or do your service. I shouldn't say time. You just want to do your service, and get out and start the next phase of your life. And as a result of that, many first termers do not take advantage of, the VA presentations or submitting their paperwork and their perhaps their medical files to the VA. I think that's changing to a certain degree today with the VA getting better at processing VA applications. Let's see. So again, this bill is to try to protect veterans from scammers, and with so much money out there for all these VA benefits that are available, veterans are at high risk of being scammed. And so I wanted to ensure that, if a veteran went to somebody for assistance in applying for those benefits, that they wouldn't be charged high fees, that they would go to certain authorized individuals that are the appropriate ones to see. That and that, in many cases, when you're applying to some of these things, somebody will say, "Oh, I'll help you fill out the paperwork, and I'm pretty sure I can get you 100% disability." Well, that's not always the case, and veterans might jump on the opportunity. And if there is some sort of an agreement between a veteran and somebody that's trying to help, then it should be written out, and it should be clearly understood with the parties. So that in itself is the reasoning for this bill, and I guess Larry and I will entertain any questions that you might have.
We know obviously there is a tremendous amount of predatory activity that people are trying to bamboozle folks these days, right? This is like one of the particularly foreign groups to target. So is there, when this was being structured, like, was there other model language that we were working off of? I'm sorry if you spoke to that before. I was like kind of reading and listening a little bit. So,
Yes,
is
and
that a better?
our counselor will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Maine and New York, we've copied or used some of their languages in this bill, as I recall.
Okay, no, I like that too, because it's kind of regionally similar to, usually that kind of makes sense to look at that lens. Do we know how many, if how many Vermonters have been impacted by scams right now? Like, is it being,
I don't know.
okay, no, this is definitely something that I think we should talk more about, but the question.
But you know, here's another aspect of the scamming issue. Matt, I promise you that I will get you your full, compensation, everything that you have coming to you. And when that occurs, you have a monthly disability. It's not a pension, but a disability allotment that it's a gift that keeps coming, basically, okay? But I'm going to help you get that gift. But in return, I want X amount from that allotment in helping you for now till the end of time, basically. So I mean, that's another issue of concern as well.
Yeah, that is an interesting person. Let me, yeah. Representative Hango.
I know from speaking to people at military task forces that this is a nationwide problem, and there are folks in Congress who are actually trying to address this also. So it is a real thing. And I know that there are also some organizations who do charge, is that correct?
Yes.
And those would be exempted by this bill.
As long as I recall, as long as they're accredited by the United States Code, is that correct?
Thank you.
I would just say that this is true in Vermont. When my husband was ill, I started getting the news, the papers and the flyers and the phone calls. We can help you get everything your husband's entitled to, blah, 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 blah. I had been actively involved in the military long enough to know that I could just go to the service officer and get the help. Had I been older and not as knowledgeable as I probably would have taken advantage of those, because there's so much other stuff that you're trying to deal with that, but they're out there, and the flyers that come and they'll help you get whatever you can get, but they got to get a percentage of.
Yeah, they're taking a cut.
They're
Yeah,
taking a
fee for
cut.
service.
So they're out there. But yeah, and I know that there are people that have been taken advantage of because they don't know differently. And they go after the elderly.
And those that are most sick,
Most vulnerable. Yep,
Yeah.
most sick. And don't want to deal with it. Yeah.
because there is quite a bit of paperwork with the VA. Providing all of your medical records that you may have had during your service, which, can be rather substantial.
I can imagine. So, you're dealing with the emotional load of the moment that is engaging you with this aspect, right? And I'm sure the interfaces and the paperwork and the jargonese and the documents can be overwhelming. So I can see how people can get caught up with this. So.
The other issue is, as you're getting out, being in Washington, D.C., there's a large VA office there for physicals after just before you retire, where you can be seen and go through, a physical exam. But if you get out, say around here, you may or may not want to go down to the VA in White River, or if you're overseas, it might not be easy for you to access, having a physical exam before you get out, meeting with VA representatives.
Thank you.
Hey, Nick. Anything else on that page?
I got
Oh, sorry, I didn't see your hand. I was like.
Yeah, that's just a comment. In one example of it is, I see it on Facebook with regularity. Hey, contact us to help you get your fullest amount of disability. And I wouldn't touch one of those with a 10-foot pole if I was a veteran. Well, I would advise all fellow veterans, do not. I mean, it's just it's like getting a link in an email saying, hey, if you do this, come to, the country of Botswana and we'll reward you with $1 million. It's got your name on it in a bank account over here, or wherever. So I think it's in the same neighborhood.
Email.
Yeah, they're trying, but yeah.
And the ads are on TV as well.
Okay. So committee, just guessing by the conversation around the table that we will put this in the active consideration pile for the work we're gonna do in and around veterans.
Sure.
Yes.
I actually making notes of names of single person have gotten into situations like this and were able to get away from it before signing a contract because of warnings.
Well, thank you for bringing this bill in, Representative. Anything to add, Representative?
I can, but it's anecdotal. I had a person from California
Yeah, please.
contact me, saying a relative who was a constituent in my district had 4 days to file paperwork and was just not able to get it done. It's an elderly person. I made 2 phone calls. One to Lisa and one to Mark. And within 24 hours, I had a reply and a contact who worked for the VA as a certified person to handle this affair. Promptly emailed me back and said, paperwork is in the gin mill. He was already accessing all of this veteran's records over the weekend. And he did get it filed on time. I think that's the way to go rather than DBI.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll let you know when we can do more with this. All right. Changing gears, we have 2 former members of the committee. Welcome back, guys.
Friendly faces.
Right.
What a nice room.
We're comfortable.
Like you said, you wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I'm a 6-foot pole and I wouldn't touch it.
We got a 9-foot pole right here. I keep bumping into it. All right, now that we've done enough stand-up improv,
Bada boom.
let's talk about the bill.
H-154. For the record, Representative Murwicki of Putney.
I'm representing Mark Higley of Lowell.
Just for the committee members who are new here, this bill started when a constituent from Dummerston, Vermont, who's a veteran, came and said, there's a month for this, there's a month for that, and veterans get 1 day. How about whole month of November for veterans? It's a great idea. Brought it to this committee, passed out unanimously on the floor. Yep. And then never got off the wall in the Senate.
I do recall that.
Yes. And I heard from that veteran who had a hard time understanding what went on in the Senate. I asked him to talk to his senators about that. I'm hoping we're in a different situation now. I don't think that this bill should have any problem getting through the through this committee, through the House, and I hope the Senate takes it up, right? As Representative Hooper said last year, we do precious little for veterans. This is a small thing. And as this veteran has shared as well, that
Right. Last year, we had three of us veterans on the committee. and Now it appears it's just three. I don't know the other members, but I think it's just three again, but
Three,
Three,
and
Sandy's a
then
survivor.
married in, yeah.
married
There's
and
a
one,
lot
and
of-
Sandy's a survivor.
okay.
So
five
I
with a
think
tie.
the nexus to veterans is actually a greater body mass with this committee makeup now.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So we'll have an even better understanding.
What a sympathizers.
Kind of sympathize.
But again, it's, the intent
Empathize.
is simple. It's the same as it was last year that, it's to honor the special value of the military service that a veteran of the U.S. Armed Forces have contributed to the security and well-being of our nation by being designated November as Vermont Month of the Veteran. And we went over that actual wording last year and we didn't change it, and I think it's great.
So this is the language that wound up on the Senate side.
obviously, this is a bipartisan bill. I don't think there's anything partisan about this.
As it
You
was.
got
last
me and Mark
session.
working together.
Right, and there's 60 some other folks on it
Yeah.
too. so.
I mean, yeah, there's a notable amount of folks in this committee that signed on to it too. So I think this thing can see briskly, to say the least. I feel like we already did most of
Slam dunk.
All right, we will add this to the list of expeditious consideration.
Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And were you saying something?
Oh, no, I was thanking them.
Okay, gotcha. And
Not
we
kicking
will
them out,
see you
that's up
bright
to
and
you.
early tomorrow morning.
Good to see you all.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too.
Is
Yeah,
it bright and early? No?
I mean, I guess that's subjective.
Well,
9:30?
Yes, 9:30.
I have Elcar,
Oh, what time do you have?
but I'll be here.
Okay, yeah.
We have that 8 to 9. It should be-
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we're 9:30. Yeah. We got you 9:30.
Thanks.
Thank you, Representative. Thank you, Representative.
Thank you.
They
9:30, that's late morning.
Yeah, it's like the crack of noon.
That's why I said it's subjective. Some of us work till 1 AM. I'm doing emails. I'm firing off emails. People are like,
I
what is
do
this?
the 3 o'clock.
All right, so for those of you who were not with us last year, we did do work on this, we did move it. So considering that we have as a committee already really, in my humble opinion, done the work on this, I think it's a pretty easy bill to move. Do we find that agreeable?
Yeah.
Representative,
Mumble that once more a little louder.
Do we find it favorable?
Oh, yes.
So do we move it out as a committee?
Hold on.
Let's let,
Lucy's had her hand up. Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was thumbing up.
Oh, that's all. We've heard, and then we have other veterans bills on the wall too, I think. Is this a case where we could create like a miscellaneous veteran?
We could, we're getting into the realm then, like, I mean, we're kind of identifying stuff, this one, if we did build something, I think it's a good idea for efficiency. But at the same time, this one is something that we needed work on.
Yeah.
And I just
It's
would
easy.
I would just kind of like, I am personally in this, the committee decision, right? I'm just thinking that this one's easy out the door. We did a lot of work on it already.
Yep.
It's a very agreeable topic.
We even created the wording Vermont month.
right, remember.
Oh,
did
yeah,
quite
we
a
workshopped all
discussion.
that. That was actually another, yep. That is, I totally, thank you for the trip down towards Smithing Lane. So, council, how are you?
Fine.
We just did the chat on this with Representative Murphy, Representative Higley. And since we did a lot of work on this already, we were discussing just moving it expeditiously over to the Senate. So my question for folks is, how much expeditiously do we want to expedite? We have time on Friday, Representative Waters Evans.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, if we do it, let's, Friday would be good because I know there are a couple people who are gonna be out tomorrow still, so.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
we have a pretty full day tomorrow already scheduled.
it would be
So-
nice to get as many people in here as possible to vote on it.
we have maybe a little bit of wiggle room late afternoon, but I don't wanna jam anything in tomorrow, cause we're already feathering a few things in. So I'm thinking if it works with council, if we could take this up. I was gonna say 10 minutes after floor, 15 minutes after floor for a walkthrough. No, Friday.
That's fine totally fine by me.
All right, so we'll do 50 minutes after the floor for a walkthrough and a possible vote. How does that sound, folks?
Very good.
All right.
Will the chairs be filled?
That's what we were just talking about. Our absences will be not absent. So, and then Representative Hooper's still just tracking the ed stuff for us right now. But both Representative Nugent and Representative Stone will be back. So we'll have full body mass. Wonderful.
Great.
Fine.
All right, we're scheduling it. Good job, folks. All right.
That's two
Well,
more
you did much
remarks
of the work
on
on
the
your
wall.
side.
Well, that's what we were all
Red
talking
marks
about.
on
Like
the
we
wall.
already really did
Two more red
all of the
marks on the
wordsmithing and all of that
wall.
over.
Length it forward.
The fact that it languished over in the Senate was not a result of the
Red
word.
mark to it.
Like
That's
meaning never
responsibility
been
of the Senate.
introduced.
Yeah, every time,
We're still-
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you
well,
will see me.
We're gonna. go
10
down
minutes
pretty
after
quick.
the floor on Friday morning.
Thank you.
Sitting there.
Thank you, sir. All right, unless there's
What,
anything
has it
else
looked
anyone
great?
wants to say formally, I'm gonna have Autumn take us off.